everyone, and welcome to the RV Inspection and Care Podcast. And today's podcast is about new and exciting things for RV inspection and care for the upcoming year in 2022 and how you can be a part of that. Now, before we talk about that, let me invite everyone who's listening to please subscribe to my podcast. That way you won't miss any of the episodes that I'll be putting out over the next year. And there's going to be some great ones. And by the way, please visit my website at rvinspectionandcare.com. That way you'll find hundreds of articles and videos that'll help you learn all about RVs and the RV life there. But now let's get back to these exciting changes coming up. You know, in the past 2 years, I've been sharing a lot of content on my website, on my podcast, on my YouTube channel and all of that, and I've really enjoyed doing it. And I've heard from you as well that many of you are really appreciating the information that I'm sharing with you. So it's been great. And I want to say a big thank you to all of my loyal supporters out there because you've really meant a lot to me and I've enjoyed this whole process. But now, in going forward in the year ahead, I want to broaden this discussion. In other words, instead of just me talking to you, I would love to be able to hear from you as well. And so along that line, or toward that end, I have created a new Facebook group, and the group is called RV Life Tips and Reviews. Now, to find it, all you've got to do is go to facebook.com/groups/RV Life Tips and Reviews. And by the way, no spaces in there, just from one word to the next, RV Life Tips and Reviews. Once you're there, just join, apply to join the group. I'll approve you, and then you're in and you're ready to go. I will be moderating the group on a daily basis, so the good news is that you can get me that way almost any time. If you've got something to ask or you need a little bit of input that you'd like to hear what maybe I had to say on that, then go to the Facebook group and ask the question, and I'll be moderating, so I'll be happy to help out any way that I can. However, the group is really not just for that. It's also because I would like to hear from you. I want to know what's on your mind about RVs and RVing. What are your challenges now with RVing? What are the things that are posing a challenge for you? Also, what great tips have you learned? We all, as we go along in RVing, we learn little tips or hacks, things that make our RVing so much more enjoyable. Well, what have you learned? Did you find something out recently? Share it with the group because we'd all love to hear that as well. Also, what experience are you having with your RV? Or maybe with your buying experience for an RV? Are you having a good experience? Are you having a not so good experience? Please tell us what's going on with that. And how about the RV itself? Are there things that you really like about it? Are there things that you wish were a little bit better? We would love to hear you review your RV, and that way that helps us to know a little bit more about what might fit for us as well. So I'm happy to share my knowledge with you. You know that. I've pretty well established that in the last couple of years. But let me be clear about this. I don't know everything about RVs or RV life. There's nobody that does, and that's the honest truth. However, we all can benefit from one another's experience. And as we all share our experiences, well, then our knowledge grows and all of us are able to make better decisions about the RVs we buy, the gear we buy, and, the way that we do our RV life and all of those kinds of things. So sharing knowledge is a really good thing. And I think that this Facebook group is going to be a great way to do it. Please go there and please join now. Join the community. I really would like to see you there. Now, there's another change, though, that's going to be coming up in the next year, and that is that I'm going to be doing more RV reviews. Now, we're not going to radically change the kind of information that I'm putting out at this point, but I'm going to include some reviews. Like, for instance, I'd like to do some brand reviews. Very often in particular categories or styles of RVs, there could be like 2 or 3 different brands or manufacturers that most people kind of think about as being the ones that are leaders in that category. Well, why not kind of review them, put them on a head-to-head comparison? And that's something that I'd really like to do in the year ahead. Also, I'd like to make some reviews about RV features that perhaps 3 or 4 or more different brands are putting out. Like, for instance, maybe we could do some reviews on shorter fifth wheels and that are being put out by RV manufacturers. There's all these big fifth wheels, but a lot of times the shorter ones don't get mentioned as much. Maybe we could do a comparison of those brands that make some shorter fifth wheels. Or maybe we could make a comparison of Class A manufacturers that have bunks in their models. Or maybe Class C's that have really super mega slides on them. Something along that line. There's all kinds of features that could be compared from one brand or manufacturer to another. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on all of this. Who are the brands that you'd like to have compared? And what are the features that you'd really like to see compared among different brands? That'll give me a lot of fuel to be able to come up with these videos and articles and podcasts that will help explain those and go into that in depth. So I'll look forward to hearing from you on that. The 2022 RVing season is almost on us. Here we are, we're in winter right now, and I know sometimes it's hard to imagine, but the RV season is just around the corner. Very soon, it's going to be spring, good weather's going to be here, and we're going to want to be getting out on our RVs and hitting the road and traveling and having adventures. So, it's good to keep that in mind right now. And so all of these new additions to RV inspection and care, I hope will be a benefit as well as the new RV season kicks off. Finally, again, I want to say thanks to the entire RV inspection and care community. You mean so much to me, and I appreciate all of your loyal support. And I'm hoping you're all going to have really happy adventures in the year ahead. Well, that's it for now. Have safe and happy travels, my friends. Until next time.